Welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're looking at sim insights. You send over a ton of material on them.
Yeah.
A company overview, some research stuff, even marketing videos.
Yeah.
So I guess you want to get a sense of what they actually do.
Yeah.
What is their approach to training and what makes them stand out in this space? And we are going to explore all that today.
Sounds good.
And I have a feeling we might uncover some surprises along the way
Definitely.
about how education and training are evolving.
Absolutely. And what stands out to me is SimInsight's positioning. They're not just another XR company.
Right.
They're laser focused on making AI-powered immersive learning accessible.
Okay.
Like their vision statement is everyone can teach/learn using AI/XR.
Wow, that's bold.
It is, right?
Yeah, it grabs your attention. It implies that they're not just building for tech giants or elite institutions.
Right.
What's the practical side of that?
Exactly.
How do they actually make this happen?
Well, they've got a two-pronged approach.
Okay,
Their HyperSkill platform and their skillful content library.
gotcha.
So let's start with HyperSkill.
Right.
This is where the democratization part really comes to life.
Yeah.
HyperSkill is a no-code platform. So imagine this. You want to create a training simulation,
Mm-hmm.
but you have no coding experience whatsoever.
Okay.
With HyperSkill, you can import 3D models, you can build scenarios using visual flowcharts,
Oh, wow.
and then, get this, you can publish your creation
Okay.
across VR, AR, web desktop, all sorts of platforms without writing a single line of code.
That's amazing. I can see this being used for I don't know, teachers being able to create interactive lessons on ancient Rome.
Yeah.
And having students walk through a virtual forum or something.
Exactly, and it goes beyond just visuals.
Oh.
HyperSkill is integrated with AI in a really interesting way.
Oh, really?
You can have AI-powered characters in your simulations.
So they're not just pre-scripted characters.
No, not just pre-scripted ones.
Mhm.
Think about role-playing scenarios, conflict resolution training, things where you need those realistic dynamic interactions.
That makes a lot of sense, especially if they're going after all these different industries.
Yeah.
So it's not just clicking through a predetermined path.
Right.
There's actual adaptability built in.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about the content itself? If I'm a company and I want to train my sales team on a new product,
Yeah.
do I have to build everything from scratch with this HyperSkill platform?
That's where Skillful comes in.
Yeah,
Skillful is their library of off-the-shelf training content,
So it's already pre-built.
all built using HyperSkill. And here's the kicker. It's not just a few basic modules.
Okay.
They have over 200 simulations across fields like healthcare manufacturing, even soft skills training.
Wow.
And they're adding 30 to 40 per month.
Wow, that's a lot. Are they keeping up with demand or are they trying to get ahead of the curve in certain areas?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
They have a strong focus on career exploration, which I know is relevant to you. So they're creating simulations that let you experience different jobs firsthand,
Like what?
like from working in a lab to designing a building. That kind of exposure
Yeah.
is crucial for students trying to figure out their path.
I was going to say, even professionals who are trying to figure out a career switch,
Exactly.
sometimes reading a job description just doesn't cut it.
Exactly.
To actually experience it, even if it's virtual, could be a game changer.
Totally.
We've talked a lot about the technology, but are there any real world examples
Yeah,
of how this is actually being used?
for sure.
Are they just selling promises or is this stuff actually making a difference out there?
They have several case studies highlighted in the materials.
Okay.
One that caught my eye was their work on semiconductor technician training.
Okay.
This is an industry facing a huge skills gap.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
They desperately need technicians, but traditional training methods are too slow and too expensive. SimInsights created AI-powered simulations of clean rooms. You know those super sterile environments where chips are made?
I've seen pictures, yeah.
Students can practice complex procedures virtually without risking damage to real equipment.
Oh, so it's kind of like a flight simulator, but for chip manufacturing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a safe way to learn and to build confidence.
That's cool. But why is this particular case study so important to you?
Well, what's interesting is this wasn't just a company project.
Oh.
SimInsights collaborated with universities on this.
Oh, wow.
And they even published their findings in an academic journal.
Oh, wow.
So this tells me they're not just focused on selling a product.
They're actually trying to move the needle.
They're genuinely invested in pushing the boundaries of what's possible with immersive learning, and they're doing it in a way that's rigorous and credible.
So it's not their only foray into these kinds of partnerships, right?
Right.
We saw visuals of them working with middle schools, high schools, even colleges.
Yeah.
They're going way beyond corporate training.
Exactly. And it ties back to that vision of everyone.
Yeah.
They're working with institutions at all levels, ensuring that this technology doesn't just widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
We even saw a slide about a metaverse for enrollment.
What is that?
Imagine experiencing a college campus in VR before you even apply.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So it's not just about training for a specific job.
Right.
It's about creating a whole new way to engage with education and career exploration.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
Right.
Speaking of engagement, I'm curious about the skillful content again.
Yeah.
Is it all VR-based or could it be accessed in other ways?
That's one of its strengths, actually.
Okay.
Skillful content is cross-platform.
What does that mean?
You can access it on a VR headset, sure,
Right.
but also on a desktop computer, a tablet, even a phone.
Oh, wow.
It's designed to be as accessible as possible.
Okay.
There was this striking visual in one of the videos.
Okay.
They showed the same skillful module running in a realistic street scene, and then on Mars.
Whoa. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It highlights the variety of environments that they can create.
Yay.
But let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
How much can you really learn from a simulation on a phone?
Right.
Wouldn't it be like a watered-down experience?
That's a valid question, and it's something they address directly in their materials.
Okay.
They're very clear that the level of immersion varies depending on the platform.
That makes sense.
However, the core learning objectives and content remain consistent.
Okay.
Think of it like this: reading a textbook on your phone
Yeah.
isn't the same as being in a lab, but you can still learn the concepts.
Yeah, you can still learn the concepts.
Yeah.
Right. It's about having options and meeting learners where they are, technologically speaking.
Exactly.
But all this content creation, even with no-code tools,
Yeah.
must still be a huge undertaking. How do they keep up with the demand for new and updated simulations?
Well, this is where we get into what they call their secret weapon.
Ooh, I like secret weapons.
What is it?
Are you ready for this?
I am all ears. Hit me.
It's called Simjani.
Simjani.
And it's basically AI for content creation itself.
Oh, okay.
Imagine this. You give Simjani a few prompts
Okay.
about what you want to teach, maybe some key learning points,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually generates an entire training simulation for you.
Hold on. The AI creates the simulation.
Pretty wild, right?
That sounds like science fiction.
It's pretty close.
Okay. That's really cool. But what about quality control? Can you really trust an AI to create effective training content?
Yeah, and what if you want to make changes, right?
Right, exactly.
Those are great questions, and it seems like SimInsights has anticipated those concerns.
Okay.
They emphasize that all Simgenie-created content is still fully editable in HyperSkill.
Oh, okay. So you can go in and tweak it.
You can tweak it, add your own touches, make sure it aligns with your specific learning goals. It's not about replacing human instructional designers.
So it's more like an assistant.
It's about giving them a powerful tool to work faster and smarter.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's like having an AI assistant that does like the heavy lifting.
But you're still the expert guiding the process. This Simgenie thing could be huge.
Yeah.
Especially for organizations that don't have big budgets
For sure.
for content development.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has the potential to democratize not just access to immersive learning, but the creation of it as well.
Wow.
It levels the playing field for smaller companies, educational institutions, even individual trainers. We're talking about a potential paradigm shift in how we approach training and development.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
It's a big deal.
So we've got this powerful platform, we've got this massive content library, and AI that builds simulations. What else is there?
What else?
What about the practical things?
Right.
Like security and integrations. Can this stuff actually work within existing systems?
It seems that they've thought of that too.
Right.
They highlight a whole range of integrations.
Oh, wow.
Everything from learning management systems to cloud providers, even 3D asset creation software.
Okay,
They're clearly building a robust ecosystem, not a walled garden.
that's good. Especially if they want to attract large organizations and educational institutions.
Right.
But, let's be honest here. With all this cutting-edge tech, there's always a concern about data privacy.
Yeah, for sure.
Are they taking that seriously?
They actually dedicate a whole slide to privacy and security
Oh, wow.
in one of the presentations.
Okay.
They've got ISO 27001, LSOC, HIPAA, GDPR, ECFAT certifications, the whole gamut.
Okay, they're checking the box.
They're checking all the boxes.
Hmm.
And get this, FedRAMP certification is coming soon.
FedRAMP. Isn't that for government agencies?
Exactly. It's a sign that they're aiming for the highest levels of security and compliance.
Okay,
This suggests that they might be targeting government clients,
that makes sense.
which makes sense given their focus on training and simulation. Think about the possibilities for military training emergency response simulations.
Yeah.
The potential impact is huge.
It's not just about making learning fun.
Right.
It's about preparing people for like high-stakes situations
Exactly.
where accuracy and safety are paramount.
For sure.
So they've got the tech, they've got the content, they've got the security.
Mm.
What about the cost?
Yeah.
Is this just for big corporations with deep pockets?
Well, here's the interesting part about their business model. It's surprisingly accessible.
Okay.
They've actually got a free tier for personal use.
Oh, wow.
So individuals can explore HyperSkill and some of the skillful content.
Really?
Then there are affordable education tiers and, of course, enterprise options with more features and support.
So they're not just going after the big fish.
Right.
They're making this technology available to educators, students, even individual learners.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But at the end of the day, it's all about results, right?
Yeah.
Do we have any evidence that this stuff actually works?
They include a bunch of testimonials in their materials.
Okay.
And it's not just empty praise. And clients are talking about specific benefits like reduced training time, improved safety, greater learner engagement.
Okay.
There's one quote from a manufacturing company that really stood out to me.
What do they say?
They said Sim Insights helped them cut their onboarding time for new technicians by 50%.
Wow.
Imagine the impact that has on productivity and cost savings.
That's significant.
Yeah.
It's one thing to say you're innovative,
Right.
but it's another to actually deliver tangible results.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're walking the walk.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, among all these testimonials, did any of them mention SimGenie specifically?
Yeah.
It's such a new development. I wonder if it's actually being used in the real world yet.
There were a couple of mentions of SimGenie,
Okay.
and they were pretty enthusiastic. One educator said it was a game changer for creating customized lessons.
Wow.
Another company talked about using it to rapidly prototype training scenarios for a new product launch. It seems like it's still early days.
Yeah.
But the potential is clearly there.
It makes you wonder what's next for them.
I know, right?
They're already pushing the boundaries with AI and immersive learning. Where do they go from here?
That's a great question, and one that they hint at in their materials. They talk about the future of learning being experiential, personalized, and data-driven.
Okay.
It sounds like they're investing heavily in AI research, and they're exploring things like adaptive learning paths and real-time feedback based on individual learner performance.
So it's almost like they're trying to create like a personalized tutor for every learner.
That's the idea.
How realistic is that, though? Isn't there a risk of over-reliance on technology?
Mm-hmm.
What about the human element of teaching and learning?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's one that we need to be mindful of as this technology evolves.
For sure.
But I think Sim Insights is aware of this as well.
Okay.
They emphasize that their goal is to augment human instruction, not replace it. They see technology as a tool to empower educators and create more engaging learning experiences.
That makes sense. It's about finding the right balance
Right.
between technology and human interaction.
Exactly.
And that balance might look different depending on the subject matter.
Yeah.
The age of the learners, and a whole host of other factors. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out in the coming years. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's bring it back to you.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, wow.
The platform, the content, the AI, the vision. What's resonating most with you? What are your key takeaways?
I think for me, it's the combination of ambition and practicality.
Okay.
Sim Insights has this bold vision of democratizing immersive learning,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also delivering concrete solutions that are already making a difference
Yeah.
for businesses and educators. And the fact that they're actively addressing issues like accessibility and affordability is really impressive.
I agree.
They're not just building cool tech for the sake of it. They're genuinely trying to make a positive impact.
And that commitment to social impact,
Yeah.
combined with their relentless innovation, makes them a company to watch. They're not
Yeah.
just riding the wave of the metaverse.
Right.
They're shaping it,
They're shaping it. And that brings us to the most important question.
which is what...
What potential do you see for this technology?
Oh, that's a good one.
We've talked about the impact on education and training, but how could immersive learning with AI and XR change your field or area of interest?
Yeah, that's something for you to ponder. We've given you the tools and insights.
The tool.
Now it's your turn to explore the possibilities.
And if you want to delve deeper, I highly recommend checking out Sim Insights' website and YouTube channel.
Good idea.
They have a ton of resources, demos, and case studies.
It's clear that the future of learning is immersive,
It is.
and Sim Insights is leading the charge. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into their world. We hope it sparked your imagination and given you a glimpse of what's possible. It's been quite a journey exploring sim insights. We started with a simple question, what do they do? And now we're talking about the future of learning itself.
And that's the mark of a truly innovative company. They don't just solve existing problems, they open up entirely new possibilities. It's exciting to think about how their technology could transform industries we haven't even considered yet.
Absolutely. We touched on the potential for things like military training and emergency response.
Yeah.
But what about healthcare?
Oh, yeah.
Could surgeons practice complex procedures in like a virtual operating room?
For sure.
Could therapists use VR to create safe environments for patients with anxiety?
Yeah.
The applications seem endless.
They do.
And think about the implications for accessibility. Imagine students in remote areas having access to the same immersive learning experiences as their peers in major cities, or individuals with disabilities being able to participate in training simulations that were previously inaccessible to them.
Absolutely.
That's the real power of this technology.
Right.
It's not just about making learning more engaging or efficient.
Mm.
It's about breaking down barriers and creating a more equitable learning landscape for everyone.
100%. I totally agree with that.
And that's a vision worth getting excited about.
Definitely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a challenge.
Yeah.
Don't just file this information away in the back of your mind. Take some time to really think about the potential of immersive learning in your own life.
I like that.
Maybe there's a skill you've always wanted to learn or a fear you've been holding on to. Perhaps there's a way to apply this technology to a problem you're facing at work
Right.
or a project you're passionate about. Let your imagination run wild.
Yeah, let it run wild.
The tools and resources are out there, and companies like Sim Insights are paving the way. The future of learning is here, and it's up to all of us to embrace it.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We hope you've gained valuable insights and a renewed sense of curiosity about the world of immersive learning.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.